The time has come for me to go ahead and dose some FluxRx to fight this hair algae problem. If you follow along on my channels, either YouTube or Instagram, you'll know I've been trying everything possible to avoid using a chemical product. I haven't had the best luck with chemical products in the past, fighting other issues, seeing some negative effects on mainly the overall balance of the system, in addition to some negative effects on the corals. And also, surprisingly, when I reached out to some groups asking for people's experience using the product and the effect on the corals, I didn't get a lot of responses, at least when I first reached out. So again, was really trying to avoid this if possible. But it's going on almost 4 months now, and I've had no success on what is supposed to be one of the easiest algae to defeat. I've tried everything from lowering my nutrients to lowering my light schedule, adding a really big cleanup crew, adding macroalgae, some various sizes of sea hairs, and again, just no luck. So that said, I am going to go ahead and dose the FluxRx and see what happens. It's been just over 1 week since I added this FluxRx to the display here, and I do believe it's making a big difference. Before I added the FluxRx, I went through and manually removed as much as I possibly could, and then added the FluxRx. So obviously I was starting at a pretty good place, being that I removed it by hand, but it's not growing back nearly as fast as it used to after a 1 week time. Again, I removed as much as I could about 7 days ago, and if I had not added the FluxRx in the past, this tank would be covered 8 days later in the hair algae again. So while you definitely still see some in various patches, mainly right here, it is looking a lot better than it has in the past, 7 or 8 days later. Also, as you can see, all of my coral looks completely fine and unaffected. That was something I was nervous about and why I didn't add the FluxRx right when I got it. I spoke to one of my buddies in the hobby who grows corals really well. He said he's used it many times without any issues, which was kind of the confirmation I was looking for of somebody I knew that grew corals successfully, that used the product with no issues. So when he told me that, I went ahead and put it in the tank because I feel like I've tried everything else, and it looks like we're seeing some pretty positive results. So much so that if you go down to the sump here in the refugium chamber, there's the most hair algae, which is to be expected in this area, but I didn't remove it from the sump before adding the FluxRx, and this chamber had a ton of the algae in it. I know it's a little hard to see here, but a lot of this has disappeared from even the sump. And my macroalgae didn't die. There's a disclaimer on the product that says it may kill your macroalgae. Mine seems to be doing okay. It's the red pom-pom. So all good things. And I am pretty happy with the FluxRx product. Finally actually seeing a noticeable difference in the hair algae after trying many other methods. This seems to be the thing that's had the biggest effect.